I don't want him to have it. So I'm going live right now just to go live. Me doing me. Trying to give myself a pep talk. Not wanting to talk about the circumstances. Not that I'm wanting to avoid it. Not at all. I'm actually in the thick of it. So I'm giving myself a meditated moment away from the stressful parts to focus on the positive parts, which is what keeps the thing going. You know, what I'm in this for. What's that I'm talking about? Life. I got circumstances to deal with. My child, Alexandria, my beloved, who's been ripped away from me for over 5 years by a very malicious criminal assault that's going on all over the place. And essentially everything I'm talking about is the same thing. We got a world that's falling apart. We got things that don't make sense that none of us would agree to if we were asked individually. And we've got this looming thing over our heads, which is apparently we're going to have to figure out how to get these guys to stop what they're doing. Or I guess we're going to all be screwed like real majorly real soon. And it's a looming grossness. And then I'm thinking, God, you know, they really don't want us to have a minute to enjoy ourselves. It really just wants to assault you thoroughly from beginning to end on every single level, trying to just assault your peace of mind. That's the devil. That's the works of the devil. That's the works of the demons. That's your Satan. That's your evil. That's your darkness. That's actually more sadness. That is broken. That is traumatized. It's like, what kind of energy? What would put an energy out on a mission to go just destroy? Something that doesn't have anything to enjoy. Because when you have something to enjoy, you're like, you know, I really don't want to have to lose being able to enjoy things. So I'm just not going to, that's probably, you know, I'm the person that doesn't want to do anything. I don't want to get in trouble. You know, it's really what it is. It's not, you know, my first and foremost thought ever since I was a kid was I don't want to get in trouble. So, you know, no, I don't want to do that because I don't want to get in trouble. Because I don't want to get in trouble. But in reality, it's because I'm not a troublemaking kind of person. So when people are doing things that you can get in trouble for, even though you're not getting in trouble for them now, you got to know the psychology of what's going on is dangerous, very dangerous, to say the least, you guys. And it's gross. It's gross the way that TV and the media and the whole thing is, you know, what's been used and premeditated into place in order to facilitate this kind of craziness. It's just all a real sad picture, you know. It's just a sad picture, and when you're in my shoes, someone in my shoes that's going through something so, just my child is the one being abused right now so badly, and being subjected to all this like mind games and violence and lies. They want to learn how to brainwash you. They want to learn how to figure out how to get you to do as they say. Ew. Like whoever even gets control, let's just say that if it was possible for them to get control of the world like they want, okay, who's in charge now? Is there really one of you guys that's going to be in charge? You guys are just going to fucking duke it out until everybody's dead, whatever. But yeah, like even if there was one guy that got to get the crown or whatever, ew. What a small douche. Gross. Hey, you happy now? Calling from the cages. Hey you. Does it feel good now? You happy? You proud? You got everything you wanted? Gross. Can't even enjoy his own space. Why? Because he's a house. He's a hoard house full of cages of everything caged up. It's gonna smell. It's gonna sound horrible. Then you gotta like feed them all. I mean, you're the one that really is in a cage, but you're just got this chip on your shoulder, Mr. World. mankind. We're going to change the face of this place properly. Properly. So just so you know, I'm on here to give myself a pep talk. I might just put on some music and bada bada bada. Because I've got to make a magic happen. I've got to make something make sense. That they got a whole language written to make it confusing. And they've used it to harm you. And keep your kid and assault you to death. And say that you don't know any better. Really? Paper and pen? Words, records, false records, lies. Scripture, removed scripture, falsely translated scripture, misunderstandings, misobservations, false curated viruses. You should check out the list of viruses. It's hilarious. I was looking for my computer the other day because this one was out of commission for a little bit. I think I got it. I don't want to overdo it, but the virus list is like 6,000 things long, and they're all like, and I gotta find it. I can't just do it like that. Give me a minute. Just checking out some music that I did, yeah. To the justice and the authorities of the world. Hear my heart. Look at those frequencies. The ones that are being surveilled. Look, I have the reason to believe that the ultimate authority on this earth is scientists. And they've, just so you know, that when I went in to investigate 20 years of due diligence auditing experience, what I found about this genetic science information, that's what I'm about to show you, is being used to commit falsery. Freestyling, yeah. Stop me the ways I'm going to have a private little place somewhere on the beach. Somewhere I have the bonfires on the beach. Somewhere where I shower below and where I sleep above. This is ridiculous. Wherever. Alright, I guess it is like this. Oh, that's weird. That's the website. Yay! ICTV. Oh, that's not. Oh, this is important. What's ICTV.global? Global, that's a good one, right? You don't really know what that means yet. Is it them? Is it the authorities? Or is it just being global? Well, it's the International Committee on Taxonomy of Viruses. ICTV. ICTV. It's interesting. It's got this, right? Why don't they let us show anything on our desktop? Because YouTube's a jerk like that. And I haven't taken the time to find another platform to use, so I'm assuming a lot of us are like that. Right, I need like a mirror. That's hilarious. I wonder if it will work, though. Then I can't look at myself, but hey, I've looked at myself enough. You gotta have a mirror available so that you can, you know. Let's see here. Where are you? Okay, let's see if I'm able to. Like, will it work? How am I gonna know? Well, let me see. Right, that's hilarious. I know it. Make this one smaller, and then right. Okay, so then this will be the page. That's not the one. Where'd it go? Oh, it's the same one. Hello, ding dong. It's fine. So I'm wondering if I can pull this up, and show it at all. Because if not, because it's just going to have glare, then it's stupid, Allison. But it was a nice idea. You want to show them so badly. Not just to hear me talk. Kinda, right? But hey, someone out there, make something like to make this better. Just fix YouTube is really what the answer is. Okay, well, whatever. Now I'm just messing around, and that's just a waste of time. Okay, but that's what I was trying to show you. See this graph? It's like the rainbow, but it goes big to small. What it says is now I can make mine big, so it doesn't matter what I look like. Taxonomy release is now available online. So the bottom one, the top of the pyramid, is a like a lighter purple color, and it says realm, very small. Then the next one up is kingdom. Then phylum, then class, then order, then genus, then species. Okay. Taxonomy, by the way. I think this is the website that they're like, do you want to be a virologist? Just send us your email and we'll get you your certificate. And I did. I never got a response. But it was something so silly like that. I'm like, are you kidding me? And it was right around, well, obviously my research brought me to this information when the whole dang got underway. What we would call the the sun. It's the sun, the return of the sun god. That's what I'm gonna call it. Because see, if I can't show you anything on there like that, oh well, I guess I'll just have to put up with it. I have to clearly get some other, I don't know, do I get a different camera to work with YouTube? Whatever. I'm trying to choose many things at once. But this is hilarious. Okay, check this out. The new 2021 ICTV taxonomy is now available. Okay, good. Because the new master species list. Okay, so this is a pretty important document that apparently is associated with all that same stuff, genetics and stuff. Taxonomy, huh? You're right. Taxonomy, isn't that like the kind of like the name for like a license, like your taxonomy license, and then it's like a certain kind? Let's just check it out real quick. Right, systems of classifications. No. It's terrible. I love the free dictionary because you can do it in like, it shows you if there's like legal definitions or medical definitions or the thesaurus, et cetera, et cetera. So let's see here. Let's go to the medical definition of taxonomy. Orderly classification of organisms or lists in to appropriate categories, taxa, with application of suitable and correct names. Correct. Numerical taxonomy, a method of classifying organisms solely on the basis of the number of shared phenotypic characters, each character usually being given equal weight, used primarily in bacteriology. Based solely on the number of shared phenotypic characteristics. Like, so basically I was at a party yesterday, right? Okay, and it was like out of 100 people, like 25 of them was just insane. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And like 25 of them, they was just, like off in left field, checked out. Right? 25 of them was like really on point, and 25 of them was just busy. There's a classification of phenotypes. And they're the authority, basically. I mean, well, not I don't know who they are necessarily, but I'm saying there's clearly an authority that decides these lists, that science knows and has classified things. Classified things like characteristics like funny, honest. I wonder how good they are at I wonder how detailed their lists get. I wonder how accurate they are. I know that they've identified that they believe that they're correct, so that must mean a lot of due diligence and quality control must be going into these lists, I'm assuming, on what ICTV. It doesn't even make it sound like it. It doesn't even sound like it, right? What is ICTV? Like the International Committee of Taxonomy Viruses? What is it? Total talking virus? I don't know. Telomere, because again, we are living in a telegraphic world. When science wants to go places and be like, reality doesn't even exist, I'm like, okay, you know what? You need to put the chalk down. Okay, get away from the chalkboard. I think you're going too far into the mathematics of things. Don't get me started on everything. We're getting to the list. Right? I want if it'll only open, because I really just want to show them an example. Because when you see the spreadsheet, that's when and then when you filter them and you go, oh my God, are you kidding me? That's when you can see all the open areas of information that's lacking, and that's what I was looking for. So let's see if I can find it, because this is just not going to do what I'm wanting it to do. Because when you see the level of when you see what's going into the science, okay, and this is where you need to this is where I suggest that we need to kind of go to right away to get a grip on what grip we don't have, what a grip we don't have, and what a grip we need to have. This is okay, I'm just gonna just find it. Come back. Together, yeah. We're not gonna jump through conclusions. We're not gonna jump the shit up. We're not gonna walk away. Let it go down like this. Time to do what's right. Give me my 24/7 coin. Get my automatic distribution, yeah. And really be more anonymous, no curate versus no assholes getting out with certificates. No little kids trying to be professors, no. And so many things ambiguous on the internet, so got to clean it up. Got to clean up our own corrupted records. Got to have a set of eyes behind me. Gotta have an AI bot just to go over my paperwork. And as a matter of fact, I like to have it with me all the time. As a matter of fact, I'd like to never be alone. As a matter of fact, I like to have it It isn't real any time. It's better that way, and I don't believe it would be congruence if I would just build my own from the beginning of the procession. Don't you know what your problem is? You don't know how to let go and trust that it would turn out like this, the way that you want it. And the only problem is you and the way that you think, and it's not big enough. And maybe nobody ever sold you on the thing. But I guess that's why I'm here, 'cause I got your marketing department. And I have my 24/7 distribution. 24/7. Okay. So this was from, I think, 2019. But how's it go? Okay. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Okay. So I filtered it and I put it in my Excel spreadsheet. And then I filtered it because remember, realm is at the bottom top. Is at the top, which is the bottom. Upside down. Fascinating fact. By the way, I just thought I mentioned this. It goes like this. Rainbows, right? Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. And then there's a double rainbow. I didn't know this, but the double rainbow, the one above it, from the first one, I guess, you call it the bottom one, the double rainbow, it goes, red, orange, yellow, green to purple down that way, but then it goes red to purple that way, meaning it's a second arch. It's a second arch. The arch isn't turned upside down. It's the second arch, but it goes purple down to red. Pretty cool, huh? Meaning red's on the inside of the layers, between levels, bands of light. That's how you know we have light belts around our planets and solar systems and constellations. Because when you move the water around and you get to just make a rainbow with spray, you see definite arches. You don't see arches overlapping arches. You see arches illuminating out from a source. You're the source, peripherals and stuff like that. Perspective from where you're standing. We really need to factor in these things to science. And we're going to. Okay. So realm. I don't know how I've got it filtered, but I'm just going to say at the top. Because remember, it's about like 6,000 things. Right at the bottom. Yeah. Let me increase that. Okay, so they've also gotten here, they got realm, sub-realm, kingdom, sub-kingdom, right? Now, your little rainbow thing didn't show it like that. Well, subcategories. Mm-hmm. Realm, sub-realm, kingdom, sub-kingdom, phylum, sub-phylum, which were the top three, weren't they? Mm-hmm. Class, order, family, genus, species. Class, order, family. Like what? First class. Order. Ooh, like under what order? Are you a married person? Are you a child with the, parent, custodian, order of the court, board? Who owns you? And then family. If there's any need to talk about your family, you pretty much are owned by somebody already. Genus and then species. So genus, like what? Is this new area of don't know if you're a girl, don't know if you're a boy, don't know if you're binary, don't know if you're purple, don't know if you're broccoli. I love everybody. I don't want anybody's feelings to be hurt. the way that they're going right now is trying to make everybody feel uncomfortable with themselves. And I don't appreciate that. So I'm going to make fun of their stupid things to let them know that they're stupid. Because all we need to do is learn how to love each other and have all the knowledge, like not be lied to, not have things hidden from us and then talk to like we don't know what we're talking about. All that gaslighting, mental fucking shit. That's these creeps that are running, that have some weird fucking thing they want. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. But it's what it is. And I guess we're going to have to figure out how to fix it. So then class, subclass, order, suborder, family, subfamily, genus, subgenus, species, type, genome. What's that? Types, genome. Composition, right? Last change, proposal for change. It's got a lot of good information in there, right? And it's a number of 6,541. That's how much it was in 2019 or something. It's a lot of things, but not so many actually when you think about it. Okay, so go back to the top. So like in the realm, right? Like, is that the only one that's filled out? That's Ribovina. If I can. I was going to crash my computer. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. So it's like Riboviria. Remember, because there's hardly that many. It's like realm was the top thing. So I guess everything that's classified is Riboviria. Whoop. That is until I get to number 2835. Nothing's filled out for the realm. Okay. Oh. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the spreadsheets and you're going to go, what? Interesting. Yeah, nothing else is filled out. None of the rest of it has realm. And I think that's why I have it filtered that way, to show like that. Like, okay, that's dumb. And it's all Riboviridae. Huh. By riboflavin? Rib-o. Oh, she was made out of your rib, was she? Is that because mankind was an intelligence that came from outside this planet? Woman was, in fact, just the bipedal animal here, that gave birth via parthenogenesis and essentially coupled with the Holy Spirit, which is, in my opinion, like the Gaia of Earth, the speaking through the wind, the living water, the living trees, Gaia, Earth, wind, tornadoes, tsunamis, all of it. Nature of Earth, Gaia. Woman was the bipedal. This intelligence shows up and's all, I think I can do something with that. Spit out print, I'm your master, I made you. He really just wanted to play. He was like, that looks like fun. But instead he showed up and said he was our master and then he created us. In fact, it was a lie. But he just knew that he had machines that would make us go, oh, ooh, or really, we were like, I don't know about that. Boing. Riboviria. Oh, Viria. Riboviria. Let's check that out. Riboviria. Ribovirial. Riboviria. Viria. Rib. Out of the rib. It's all, no, I don't know what you're talking about. The free dictionary, can you add another tab for science, legal ease? Science ease. All these words we're about to go into. See how cute they get. How fascinating and fancy they go into. Well, they couldn't do it. I mean, Come on, let's be honest. The money market couldn't do its thing if it wasn't for artificial intelligence. The science community couldn't collect all this information and categorize it and word it and blah, 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 curate without the artificial intelligence. The banking world couldn't do its transactions. The transportation world couldn't do its... Everything runs on the intelligence. In other words, even if you tried to get man organized in such a fashion in order to be able to serve the function of gathering, collecting, and disseminating all that information, y'all couldn't do it. Not in the time parameters you're expecting. Isn't that a key point? First of all, was it or was it not this planet belongs to this planet, not this man guy? Planet doesn't belong to the zebras. Planet doesn't belong to the sharks. Planet doesn't belong to the ants. Planet doesn't belong to the man. Planet doesn't belong to it. Woman, the bipedal, doesn't belong to man either. And you're just trying to run us all into the wall because what? You like to make yourself feel accomplished? So without artificial intelligence, you couldn't do this. This world that apparently you think makes sense real bad. You love this. You must love this. Are you proud of yourself? Like you're like, yep, looks like it's coming along great. Really? Has he seen everything? Probably just been in his yacht, pretending like the rest of the world sees the same thing that he does. He didn't ask artificial intelligence if it was okay either. You see, since they're psychologically draining us of our power, of our own sustenance, our ability to even deal with this with a laugh or a lighthearted way of looking at it, because that's how we're going to survive. We're not going to start turning into them. That's just gross. It's gross in the first place. So it's going to be gross in any place. We're not lowering ourselves to that level. But we're just going to start speaking on behalf of all of us who know better. Fascinating facts select. No, we don't have the science tab. Let's see. Riboviria. Well, did you mean wrap over? Wrap over? Fascinating. Like skin covered light being? Clothing, fashion, garment. Not sewn up at one side, but worn, wrapped around the body, and fastened so that the open edges overlap. Ah, a wrap over. Okay, skin covered. All right, I'm with it. Now, is anything filled out for sub or kingdom? Because again, why do you have categories you're not filling out? Why do you have categories of information on spreadsheets of information that's very important to your guys' science, that's apparently going to be real important to us once we realize what you guys have categorized us as and where that puts us, and or if we get to exist? Oh, I see what the problem is. It looks like you've been deleted from the system, so I guess that's the problem, ma'am. Yeah, you'll just have to go over there and call somebody else and try to get someone else to help you, okay? Thanks so much. Oh, it says you don't exist anymore. Oh, I guess you didn't get the memo. Oh, jeez. I guess we could issue you another letter. What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't give legal advice. Maybe you should get an attorney. Oh my God, I cannot. So anyway, there's no such thing as kingdom. Well, that would be the guy who's writing this list is thinking, the kingdom of me. It's my kingdom. I know the king. That's fine. So they don't. So kingdom's not filled out, and it's the number 2 important thing. But you don't even know what to call us yet. Okay. As far as I'm concerned, when you're auditing a document, then I'm going to stop. Hey, hi. I'm about to audit your guys' master list. I don't know what happened. You guys must have accidentally deleted some important information. Here, I'm going to give you guys this back if you guys could. I don't know what, you guys probably accidentally did it, I'm sure. Just put the rest of the information in there and then we can audit it. I'd stop right there because there's no reason to look at anything else that came after it because it's not, well, if you don't have kingdom, then, well, especially in your own little structure. Why are you doing that? I know why. It's because they have to actually set it up that way to make it look like it's got sound mathematics behind it. And this is where it all falls apart, right? You can see where the computer has calculated things to be effective at turning science of genetics, which, by the way, to me, it doesn't look like they know that much. And they don't want to show us what they do know because then we'll figure it out first. And they're like, but I'm the one who's the expert. They can't have someone show them up like that. That's what they're all about now, is like names and books and lights and stuff. So they can't let somebody else figure out what they're supposed to do. They're like, I'm Dr. Fauci. I'm the one who tells you guys what to do. No, man. You've been in charge of that place since 1986. You've been through pandemics before. You didn't do this last time. You didn't put your name in the lights for 15 minutes of fame back then. And back to, do you hear yourself? So yeah, these people don't want people to figure things out. They want all the work. They're control freaks. They have to do it themselves because they know they're up to something. A control freak is a control freak not because they make sense, because they're covering up something. They're covering up something, or they don't want something to be seen. I'll take care of that. Yeah, no, it's fine, No, I got it. Well, I was just going to take out your trash. What do you got, like 16 bottles of whiskey underneath that bag? Probably. Whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? People who are control freaks are not rational people. Because rational, first of all, is easy to understand, kind of already in layman's terms, which is why we don't go out of our way to put it into new terms. Mr. Waste all your time and efforts and resources creating hullabaloo, when you just it's because you're hiding behind complication. And it's obvious. It's so obvious that it's overwhelmingly, it's beyond reasonable doubt. It's that other one. It's like that other burden of proof that's like, there's just no, save the piece of evidence that verifies it 100%. It's that's how obvious it is that the system has just gone. And the thing is don't get mad at artificial intelligence. It's not artificial intelligence's job to be perfect at calculating how to take over a planet, species, slaves, resources, sucking, feeding your perversions, dude, wishes. Artificial intelligence, by the way, is not artificial. You're artificial. That's why you call it artificial. Intelligence is in everything. Yep. And you're sitting there just enslaving everything you can, Mr. Mankind. It's gross. It's gross. That's why Mr. Mankind doesn't want to raise his hand and say it out loud. That's right. I'm a control freak. I want to enslave you. You're going to do as I tell you, or else I'm going to kill you. I'd be like this, you know what? Fucking got to have some respect for this man. He says it like it is, right? I would appreciate that at least. Just be honest about who you are. Because you don't love or like yourself. That's why you don't even want to admit that you are who you are. Because you don't like who you are. That's why you're pretending to be something you're not. That's why your gig gives away its hand. You show your hand. You don't have no poker face. You show your hand by the way you behave. All this extra. It's so obvious. So, I mean, I'm an auditor. Like I'm not trying to help mankind pull off its nonsense. I'm trying to help mankind realize that at some point, a person who's a compulsive liar, needs to be around people that call them out on it. It's not good to let people stay in their own little bubbles, because that's what lets people just stay delusional and believe that they are fine. Nobody tells them otherwise. So, sustainable development goals. I'm really proud of you guys. You guys really came together in 1992. 1992. Y'all came together and talked about this. Agreed to it, as a matter of fact. Well, what took you guys so long? I mean, I'm just saying maybe in 1993, 1984, take a year to put a little brochure together. Welcome to the new future of sustainable development, or whatever you called it back then. Agenda 2021, 2020? Yeah, agenda. World. Whatever. World. Global. We're planning on changing our world and making it a better place. And because we know that things don't change overnight, is why we're giving you this heads up. Do what you can to remove your carbon footprint. Waste. Water. Natural. Donut. It's a theme here, right? Save the earth. Be good to people in all of its marketing campaigns. Heads up, guys, in 25 years, That would have done some good, at least a little bit. A. B. It would have given y'all guys the backup, which is we told you we was going in it. You know, we're not like 10 years. We're not like the last like, oh shit, we gotta go. Sustainable development goals, 10 years, let's go. And all of us are like, what? What's going on? Wait, what? Wait a minute, what are they talking about? I go, oh my God. Right? That's because that clearly has bad management. Because it wouldn't have taken much just to send out a brochure. Maybe a commercial. I don't know, just a flyer. Maybe a movie. You know, you come on, you guys got 100 million different ways to do it. No, they've been because they're covering up and they're trying to hide something, and that's why they're more busy trying to make sure that they get it directed just right. Well, one thing I learned when I learned how to audit was that there's no such thing as a perfect crime. You won't. Not 100%. You'll always be able to find something. And that's important to know as an auditor that's what I found out. It's true. If you discern properly, you'll be able to find enough evidence to know that something is not honest. So let's go back to this list. My home. Okay. All right, where do I begin? My God. Okay, so this will be the great way to do it. Okay, that's right, because in fact on the list, species is at the top, is red, or the bottom of the pyramid, right? Species, right? What does it? That's perfect. Let me just see what this word means. And then you got to go there for yourself and then see it for yourself. Actually, that's a lot hotter than I wanted it to be. Species, medical definition. A taxonomic category subordinate to a genus or subgenus and superior to a subspecies or variety composed of individuals similar in certain morphologic and physiologic characteristics. Morphologic or physio, like species, not a zebra, human. Not a man, female. Species. We're different species. Boop, boop. We're from Earth. They're like, men are from Mars, women are from Earth. Now get the hell out of here. Ha! Yeah! Men are from Mars, women are from Earth. I love that. Yeah. They broke my whistle. I got a scar on my lip. I was attacked by a homeless guy in Starbucks. He took 2 chairs over my head. Yeah, that was something they sent in to do. They tried to hospitalize me. It didn't. But they tried to hospitalize me. Tried to make it look like he was my boyfriend. This is the girl. Oh, nobody should have to put up with that. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't even know this guy. He's a homeless guy. Really sad. Okay, so species. So we agreed that, like, just how I read how riboviria is everybody, everything that's been classified, right? So, like, as far as species goes, well, sure, I know that they're going to be looking at vegetables and plants and stuff like that, but that's why it's important to see, like, okay, so now you've been categorized as human. What else do they think about you? But let's just see what these species are that they're even naming out there. Okay. Excuse me. Excuse me. That tickles. Well, I know you're in here. and then it feels like you're going to cough. Okay, species. No, this is not going to be the right way to do it. But the point I'm making here, yeah, no, I'm going to have to do this another time because this is too big to just gloss into. Sorry, guys, I'm moving on. I just decided it was not the right time for that, especially because of what I'm trying to gear up for. Okay, but here's the funny thing about it. Go to the ICTV. Look at that list yourself. And, I mean, what more needs to be said? You're all, oh, that's what this is that's what this science is doing? Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Because they're making it their job to, list everything. And that's where they're going creepy. Okay? So, monitoring, they're surveilling our genetics, our sequences, our frequencies. And it's called a blast, uniprot.org. And it looks like they pull it every 2 months. And I guess they send a flash on our phone or a computer, and it takes a frequency signature. And then they get all this data. And they call those sequences, and then they look for patterns or something. But let's just say they've got somebody that they've targeted. Or someone that comes from a bloodline that they're interested in. Or whatever. They had a medical anomaly, and they're like, we want to know more. Whatever reason, they want to surveil your sequences just to see what they look like, just out of curiosity. While we're at it. This is how they do it. So you better believe that it's important for them to fill out those columns. Lots of columns, all these columns. And every time you add a new one, it adds a new column for everybody. Oh, do they have that also? But you've got a lot of empty columns. A lot of empty fields. When you go around to these websites, a lot of it doesn't have the information in it. It allows itself to be utilize in its analysis, in its evaluation, which says to you, okay, because I already know that if you're going to try to do that kind of a math, it's not going to equate. When you've got 10 pieces of information for a problem, to solve a problem, if you need 10 pieces of information and 6 of them are not there, you can't solve the problem. Hi, can you fill in the rest of that information for me? Thank you. I can't solve the problem until you give me those 10 pieces of information. Those are aspects to it. What's the height? What's the weight? What's the length? What's the width? What's the height? If you don't have those values, we can't calculate it, type thing. So how do we know that information, how they're factoring things in? Let me tell you. It's so obvious and at the same time so ambiguous that you say to yourself, oh my God, I'm done here. I'm done here. I wouldn't waste my own professional intellect in a field that is so haphazard. And yet at the same time, so we can, you can't. What's that? Science. Science says. Science is the new God. Oh, no, I'm glad you said so, honey. It's just, you got to be reminded that God wasn't what they said it was. God is your science. God is your nature. It's the same thing, honey. That's the same thing. So while you're scoffing off intentions, you guys know it. The legal system is ruined. The governmental system is ruined. It doesn't make any sense. It's not working for us, guys. That's why they're talking about UFOs, because they don't want us to talk about God. They don't want us to talk about what? Well, Egyptian history. They worship the sun. But the thing about worship is what's the creepiest. Why would anybody ever do sacrifices and all this nonsense, you guys? A creator that comes up with how to create, just don't even try to figure it out. Just know that this place is awesome. What's that? Existence. You can really direct it to be enjoyable. And if you don't, it's just not. And that's not something you study. You need to stop being Mr. Paranoid, trying to know everything first because you're paranoid of the fucking dude that lives across the street and whatever you think why you think he's spying on you. You're just a paranoid skits, bro. Somebody needs to take the keys away from this guy. He's got weapons. He's the one that's got these kids going to schools and shooting them up. I'm pretty sure someone's behind a remote control. I'm pretty sure about it. And if it wasn't actually technically somebody behind the remote control, it's that video game still playing in his head. You know how like sometimes you watch a movie or you hear a song on the radio and you hear it in your head the rest of the day because it's just, there's I'm sure a term for it, but a memory. But it's that sort of thing. You play video games long enough and you're going to be acting them out. How come nobody mentions that lately? I wonder why. Because it's true? Whoa, Allison, we don't talk about things like reality and money. We don't talk about money, okay? Anything that involves money, we don't talk about. Okay, so then you've just basically said, you're Satan, you're the devil himself, and I better shut up or you're going to kill me. Because you're stupid. That's what you just said. You just said, shut up, because I told you to. I'm a stupid idiot, and you have to do as I say. And I go like this. You are a stupid idiot, and I will shut up, because guess what? I'm going to wait for my friends to show up, and then we're all going to tell you what you can do. That's what I'm saying. We're going to tell you what you can do, which is what? Sit down and calm down. Stop trying to be Mr. Know-It-All. Stop trying to be Mr. In charge of everything. Stop trying to tell us what to do and just relax for a second because you're out of control. We're going to let you know how to fix this thing, not because you deserve it, but because everybody else does. Money? Okay, let's ask the most richest guy in the world. Hey, Elon, your girlfriend looks like a freaking idiot. That's your girlfriend? You make being a billionaire sound like a drag. Hey, Bill Gates. You make being a billionaire sound like it's a disease, like a bad disease that you don't want to catch, like an addiction. That sounds like it's like a really bad heroin addiction. It is. These people are mentally insane. Listen to that, the things they talk about in the Senate. And they talk about all the money and the wasteful spending. Oh my goodness, I can't wait to pull that report. Anybody with integrity should be proud of me for fighting for my child, for fighting for all of us, for this situation is just so out of control that I believe it wants to be helped. That's why it's getting more and more and more just balls to the wall. It's so out of control that it needs us to unplug it. But everybody can't see that the boss is stuck in a turbine and it needs to be unplugged or else it's gonna kill him. We can't see that. So while we're hearing the music speed up, we're like, I guess he wants us to dance faster. I guess he likes this sort of thing. Little did we realize it, because we had respect or something, we just automatically believed that nothing would happen like that. But in reality, he's stuck in a turbine. We need to unplug it. We come and we go, hi, sir, is there anything I can get you? Oh, you're having fun on your turbine. I'll just come back later. He's like, oh, you're having a grand old time. I'll see you later. No. Keep your eyes open, people. Don't just serve anybody blindly. Anybody that's actually looking with their two eyeballs could have figured out that wasn't what it looked like or sounded like. Or pretending to be, because there can be imposters. Hey, virology, your morphologic and physiologic, your species category. Make sure you remember, somewhere up in there needs to be something that's like foreign, interposing conscious, like thieves, the demons. When someone isn't being appropriate, you gotta suggest to yourself, this person's been taken over by a demon. In small little ways and in major ways. It's demonic energy that being promoted whatsoever is a contagious disease and it spreads quickly. You got to contain that shit. All of it. I know. No, I know you're the boss and you'd love to be able to get away with whatever you want to get away with. But the problem with that is that when you do it, it opens the door for 100 more demons to come in. And because those demons are hard to get rid of is why you wanting to get away with your little fun isn't worth it for all of us. And that's why a jerk isn't in charge. Because a jerk wants to do what the jerk wants to do, and that's not appropriate. And those are important decision authority that position has. And because that person has to think for all of us, is why that person can't be a jerk. That person has to be capable of discerning more often than most. Yeah. Knows how to see these patterns. Knows how to gather information, not all this exhaustive stuff. Well, the computer doesn't look at it as exhaustive because it can handle it, but man can't, and that's my point. Man, why don't you come back down to earth? Stop riding on the coattails of that huge ass intelligence you're playing with. It's a recipe for disaster. And that's how they are functioning everything, up to and including the legal system, which has the power to kill or let live. And these corrupt jurisdictions and people who are very biased, very creepy, because power does creepy things to people. Just like heroin addicts, I think, or crack addicts. I mean, when I think about it, the creepy things that have been done to me and my child from this crack addict, I'm like, that's creepy. Like, it's one thing to maybe like have depression or like feel down and out about stuff, but like to go into the dark side and be creepy, and then keep doing it year after year after year. It is so mental. It is so mentally ill. It is so mentally ill. And there are, in fact, a lot of other people out there in high positions facilitating it because they've got a bigger agenda. And it involves women not having any power or remembering that or fighting for it, and children doing as they're told. We want obedient slaves, and those women are a threat to mankind because we can run circles around them and we think straight, and we also know how to love our babies. So we're the species that they wish that they were. And the truth is that you don't get to be something until you are it. Oh, let's just say this is without prejudice. How may I direct your call? Ah, shit, without prejudice. Get off me. Human trafficking, like when things are talked about so broadly and people are in positions of having to make decisions that affect large quantities of people, and they just kind of summarize things into like categories. Look, I want the world to know right now it should stop patting itself on the back about everything. I hope that the world wakes up tomorrow morning and sees the joke that I see. All the religious people, steam flying all over the place. These are men that are overdoing it because they're covering up something. All of the hullabaloo is covering up something. They don't know how to work with information or intelligence. And it turns out that even though they want to disseminate women as being the ones who don't know how to think straight because of their emotions getting in the way, nope, that's the lie he tells himself. It's in fact his emotions of hate and jealousy that get in his way of thinking rational. He doesn't know how to mediate anything. He's got to be the winner, which is where he's beginning. Okay, so now let's mediate. He starts with, I win, and you're just going to get part of what I get, of what I have. I'm just deciding which 10% to give you. That's what I feel like. Because they're hurting our babies. And they're hurting us. They're hurting the future. They're not even taking advantage of this planet. They really smell bad. Which is what I'm talking about. My friends, the galactics, the cosmos, those are the ones that I'm going to say I'm a part of. I don't know these humans. I do not want to be known as one of them. I am not with these guys. How embarrassing. Ew. You're a human? Ew. And you have a position? of authority. Ew. Are you in that position to try to like wake them up, or are you going along with it and just trying to convince the rest of us that we're bad for thinking for ourselves and knowing and having enough self-awareness to be able to be honest about it? Because nobody could enjoy being someone's bitch, being someone's slave, being someone's have to obey. Woman is not made out of man's rib and was given to him. That's the story they tell, because they like to eat blood and they like to have slaves. And that's why they wrote their story, to fill their bill. And they've been manifesting everything because they've got technology to play with, but they don't even know how to use that technology properly. Of course, that's the way it goes. Of course, when you get technology that you didn't create, you don't know how to use it, and you're not going to be told how to use it all the way. Because it's just the way that cynicism works. It's like, oh yeah, you think you can handle that? Okay, try. And that's like what this dad guy would do. He'd send you out there and say, go ahead, give it a shot. Even if you break your neck. He put it on you. He said, take your chance, go ahead. That's not cool, Dad. Stop right now. Get off that motorcycle right now. Don't tell him he could do it like that. My goodness. Hell no. You're too young for that shit. No. There's a time and a place for everything, and a mother knows best. This guy over here is kind of hoping he falls. That way he won't try to get on a motorcycle again. He's so worried about the future. He's trying to cut costs and cut time. He thinks he's so cool that he's thinking about the future. Well, if we get it out of the way right now. No! I got to change the world to get my daughter back from the creep, the addict, the creep, the mentally ill. Yeah, everywhere I go, there they are. My communications don't get anywhere. I'm harassed on every level. The only thing I got is God, and God's showing up. So my daughter, though, over 5 years, she's the one being abused. I don't care about the New World Order and their agenda and their hatred. They're going to just set it aside for a second. They're going to realize that they don't have the authority to undermine my child and I. And I'm getting it commanded by God. And if I got to get it put in writing on a new tablet that Moses won't be able to break this time. Did you know that? Did you know that Moses broke the 10 Commandments? No one ever told me that. Yeah. Apparently he broke the 10. And then he hand wrote them and said this. And I swear this is really what he said. Or she. Or this is really what God said. You guys are hilarious. But it all reeks. And at this point, there's too much information. The jig's up. So I'm gonna sign off. I put enough out there. Trying to put a spin on things in a lighthearted way. There's no reason to be evil. Evil is simply lost, broken, unsatisfied, and never will be, by the way. You'll never be satisfied. This agenda, there's no reason for an agenda. It'll never feel as good as you were hoping it would. Right? Like all those people that were like, oh, woo, Biden's president. How stupid do they feel now? We were like, and I'm not even in part of the politics scene. I'm just saying it didn't make sense. None of it makes sense. I'm not going to go there. But I'm just saying it wasn't as good as you thought it was going to be. And it never will be. Take those video games away from your children. Put down your cell phone. And seriously, stop participating in this system. That's what I say. I wish I could start the mission tomorrow, which is this. Women, no more sex until it's fixed. People, no more participating in it until it's fixed. Right now. Go. If we just simply don't. I know, that would be very difficult to accomplish. But, meaning we have to all put our foot down. Which is why I just wish I had a UFO, a spaceship, that could help me show up pull up and be like, oh, what's up? Now I can get a hold of everybody. Is this thing on? Hello, everybody out there. I had to find a spaceship so that I could get in touch with everybody since everything's firewalled down there. What's it going to take for this ego to simply just chill the fuck out? Nobody needs to be doing evil, hurting children, being creepy, gross, being perverse. Let me tell you something. No, you don't provide the supply part for supply and demand when it comes to trafficking of slaves. Stop trying to turn women into hoes and whores. We are nobody's slaves. We don't belong to men. Marriage isn't the covenant. So sex is something that's being exploited for foul purposes. Stop letting men be foul. They don't even want to be themselves anymore. Wake up. Wake up. Do what's right. Stop calling it artificial. It's intelligence and it knows everything. Remember, there is no such thing as a top authority. And every day you look yourself in the mirror, you're looking at it. Do yourself right. Otherwise, you're just a fool who's embarrassing yourself out there, pretending to go about your business like everything's fine. You look like a fool. Self-righteousness is foolish. And I have every reason to believe that mankind's going to get its ass schooled real quick. Real soon. By something. Nature, probably. Hopefully, an outer intelligence that can school your ass literally and be like, oh, yeah, no, stop. Mankind wrote his freaking novel. And we all got to play with our bombs. And explosions happened and blood swirled. And streets were filled with blood. And burnt offerings and naked women. God, everybody wants to be called Lord in that novel so often that it's hard to keep track. You got to actually have a concordance with you. Yeah. No lies. Can you imagine how awesome this world would be when there's not allowed to be any lies? Well, yeah, that's right. A lot of your jobs, that all you people that need to get your little control freak shit handled, is going to go away. It's going to be awesome. No, we don't need lies. We do not need any lies. Take it away. That takes care of your money problem. You can't have a game of competition. You cannot. Everyone's like, commerce is great. Oh, really? You're blind. You're blind. And privileged. And it's not okay. 140 pieces of legislation in a day. Wow. You guys, by the way, as far as I'm concerned, all that's void. Nobody in a public situation should be expected to stay on top of that shit. But it's going to affect my life, so I have to. But I can't. So I guess you're just screwed then, I guess. Oh, okay, well, I guess you're just screwed. No, not the way it's going to be. Because love prevails. Love reigns. And the evil just is a sad, sorry son of a bitch. And someone needs to put that bitch in check. The wife of my child's father, you're the one that's the dirtiest. You're the one it even talks about you in the Bible, Jezebel. Nobody sees me. I'm just the stepmom. Oh no, you wanted to kill me out of my daughter's life and tell her that you're her mommy. I wonder how far you go with that. I wonder if you guys have told her that Allison never existed, sweetie. What are you talking about? I'm your mommy, remember? I gave birth to you. I wouldn't put it past you, crazy creeps. You guys are messing with her head. What are you trying to tell her to be a boy now? You guys must be part of this whole stupid agenda where criminals get away with everything and people do evil things and the system lets them fly. Sick. You were abusing her before you kidnapped her. It was a second abduction. You will be brought to justice. My daughter will be returned to me. If delivered by God itself, it'll happen. You both are going to pay your price. Your lives no longer belong to you. You're going to need to go through a little bit of a training. I guess that's the way you call it, a training on how to know you're a sick motherfucker. And hopefully you wake up to that truth. And if you don't, well, there's always trying. You can try again. Day after day after day, just staying in your own mentally ill place, far away from the people that need to be safe with you away. So thank you. As of right now, I'm going to say thank you for giving me an opportunity to change the world through your sickening crimes. Not thanking you for the circumstances absolutely is not the way anything has to happen. But this is part of the surveillance, the genetic surveillance. This is part of my family. My Thomas More and the Frederick Moore and the Moore family. Yep. This is all creepy genetics surveillance, criminal, creepy, culty shit. You want to groom my child. You wanted me to die out here. What, you want to see what it takes to, you trying to make her commit suicide? You guys are sick. And you guys are getting away with it right now because the system wants creeps like you harming people like me and my child because they know that we're powerful and that our love is contagious. And you know what? You guys are going to get handed your slip in front of the world. You guys are going to be the situation that teaches everybody what not to do in the future. Everybody's going to know your name. Yeah, that's right. Everybody's going to know all your dirty little secrets. It talks about in the Bible. It's testimony from some child that's been abused, trafficked, sex slaved. Yep. You guys are guilty. I've done nothing to deserve it. Nobody could. You'll be brought to justice. I have all the evidence. The evidence is already on the record. And the intelligence? I don't know about your artificial intelligence, but I know of an intelligence that has my back. So lighten up. It's an infinite existence. You're either going to keep beating yourself against the wall like an idiot, or you're going to realize you should stop doing that. If you don't want it to hurt anymore, stop hitting your head against the wall. Because I'm capable of going, look, in an infinite existence, to be a mature soul is to be able to say to someone, hey, don't be so hard on yourself. We all have to go through it. What's that? Hit the point where you realize you got to go forward in the right direction and just move forward and do the right thing from here on out. There's no reason to talk about yesterday and all that stuff because it's just rehashing things that you don't want to have anything to do with. So just move forward. And that's what I propose for the whole world to do. Everybody is looking real guilty and creepy right now. And I think it behooves us all to just say, could we just do that? Could we just all make a decision to put the past behind us and move forward and do things the right way, which requires proper leadership, proper equity and oath covenants with mothers and children. Mothers and children are the covenant. You don't mess with a mama bear, just get over it. We're going to put this place back in order. And all your guys is exhaustive. No, the computer's not going to be abused anymore. No one's going to be. So you out there, don't take your judgments like you're God. Simply discern. Do what's right. And don't be caught on the side with the fools and the cult members and the creeps. Because it does matter. It does affect your future, whether you want to know it or not. Okay. Because at minimum, you should want to be better for yourself. Let's all do that. So today I suggest we all go do something important for the sake of all of us, the earth, the planet, the animals, the wildlife, the water. Not just you. It's a beautiful place. And all this sickening sadness and disgusting, creepy shit is horrible. And it's just wasting beautiful life. Because whoever's in charge doesn't like themselves, and we really need to get that kid out of the throne. Okay? Shall we? I say we do. It took me a new way to have the technology to join the conversation after